Today is one of the most exciting days in the football calendar, especially when there's no live football on. We get to see who is going to be playing who. The SPFL 2022/23 season fixtures have been released today and I will be running you through them in this video. But before we do get into them, how good was last season? It was the first full season with fans back after obviously the pandemic and stuff like that, and I feel like atmospheres and attendances and new ultra groups bringing drums and kids going to games and flares. I know that the pyros and stuff get a bit of a bad rep, but they do add to the atmosphere, and I just think overall last season was amazing for so many different clubs. Of course, if your club didn't do so well or went down or whatever, then it probably wasn't that great, but I think overall we can all agree that last season was a fantastic season for fans like you and I who love to go and watch live football. There are a few oddities to take into account for this coming season, with the World Cup in Qatar being around the winter time. There will be a big break for the Scottish Premiership, but the lower leagues from the Championship downwards will still be on. We will get onto that a little bit later on, but the season will start on the 30th/31st of July. It is 2 minutes past 9 when I'm filming this intro, which means the fixtures are out. Let's jump straight into it. Right, so as you can see on screen right now, I'm currently trying to look at the Cinch website, or the SPFL website itself, and server error. We appear to be encountering some issues at the moment. Please try again later. Perfect, that means everyone is trying to look at the fixtures, doesn't it? Before everything loads, let's have a look at the week 1 fixtures for every single league. So it looks like the Cinch Premiership will kick off Livingston versus Rangers. 12 o'clock, yep, noon on the 30th of July. A chance for either Rangers or Livy to go top for a few hours before Hearts play Ross County. Kilmarnock back in the Premiership after 1 year out, of course. They will play at home at Rugby Park, their first game back in the Prem for a season against Dundee United. St Johnstone will play Hibernian at home. St Mirren face Motherwell before champions Celtic play on Sunday against Aberdeen at 4:30 p.m. Right, let's look at the Championship fixtures. Ayr United will start off the season against Arbroath. These are all on the 30th of July at 3 p.m. Arbroath, of course, had a great season last season. Will they be as good this year? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on Arbroath. Cove Rangers, their first ever game in the Championship. This will be the highest level that Cove have ever played against, and they will play against Raith Rovers, who have just signed my mate Dylan Easton from Airdrie. Dundee, who got relegated last season, will face Partick Thistle, who will be looking to get back into the Premiership themselves. Hamilton Accies will play Morton, and Inverness Caledonian Thistle will play Queen's Park. Again, Queen's Park haven't been as high as this since for decades now. They were obviously an amateur team for the vast majority of their history up until a few years ago, and they have now got into the Championship for the first time in absolutely decades, and they will face a trip up to the Highlands in July. That'll be absolutely lovely for them, I'm sure. Week 1 in League 1, how are we looking? Right, so Kelty, ooh, right, we'll get on to Kelty in a second. My boys, the shirt, which is obviously always behind me here. Dunfermline will play Alloa in the first game of the season there for the Pars, who obviously went down from the Championship last season. Falkirk, who I tipped to win League 1 last season, start off against Montrose. Kelty Hearts will face Edinburgh City. So two teams, oh, actually, they're not called Edinburgh City anymore, are they? They are called FC Edinburgh. They changed their name last night. They changed their badge as well. I was a really big fan of their old badge as well, which is a shame. But yep, FC Edinburgh will play away to Kelty Hearts. Two teams that came up from League 2 last season. So a little bit of a battle there for them two. I think this will be Kelty's first really big test. Sort of for years actually, in terms of their league position. Of course, they were always going to sort of do well in League 2 last year. They won it at Cantor. They won the Lowland League 2 years in a row before that, and before that they were in the East of Scotland League, which of course they did well in as well. So I feel like this year in League 1 will be their first really big test. Talking about big tests, they will have to play Peterhead and Airdrie Onions. Airdrie Onions came second last season in League 1, and then finishing off the first League 1 fixtures of the year, a Queen of the South against Clyde. Clyde, who have obviously moved out of Broadwood now, against Queen of the South, who got relegated from the Championship last season. Moving on to League 2, Bonnyrigg Rose, their first ever game in the Cinch SPFL, will be at home. I'm absolutely buzzing for that. Will I go to that? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm gonna have to see a little bit closer to the time what my plans are. But yeah, Bonnyrigg Rose will play Forfar Athletic in their first ever SPFL game. Dumbarton will play Stirling Albion. Elgin City will play East Fife. East Fife got relegated last season from League One. Stenhousemuir will play Stirling Albion, and Stranraer will be playing Annan Athletic. Of course, we're missing Cowden Beef in there, who got relegated last season, so they will be in the Lowland League, which the fixtures haven't come out for just yet. Out of those opening day fixtures, which ones are your favourite? Which ones are you looking forward to the most? Who does your club have on the first day of the season? For me personally, I'm buzzing to see Bonnyrigg Rose, of course. Their first game in the SPFL, the Scottish Professional Football Leagues, will be at home. I'm excited to see who Kelty are obviously playing against FC Edinburgh. FC Edinburgh got a new name. Rangers are at Livy. Celtic are at home on the first day of the season. So yeah, some really interesting fixtures there for the opening weekend. But let's have a look in a little bit more detail about some of the more key dates throughout the season. So let's have a little look through the Premiership, shall we? Of course, we have Rangers and Celtic. When is the first Old Firm of the season? Let's have a quick look. I'm scrolling through. The first one of the season will be Saturday, the 3rd of September. Or it looks like the fixtures will probably change, all 3 o'clockers for now. But that'll be the weekend of the 3rd of September. Will be the first Old Firm derby of the season. The Qatar World Cup starts on the 21st of November and will finish on the 18th of December. So as you can see, look, we have the 12th of November dates, and then it goes to the 17th of December. So we've got a full big break there right in the middle of the season. And look, as you can see, it will be Celtic v Aberdeen and Rangers v Hibs, which kind of kick us back off, as well as Hearts v Killie, Livingston v Dundee United, Motherwell v St Mirren, and Ross County v St Johnstone. So yeah, don't expect any Premiership football between the 12th of November and the 17th of December. Incidentally, that is the day before the World Cup final, so let's hope there's not 1 or 2 players in there that are actually playing in the final. I'm struggling to think of any that probably would, but yep, you never know. It is football at the end of the day. And then we have Christmas Eve fixtures this year. I don't think there's been a full list of fixtures on Christmas Eve for a number of years in Scotland, but then we move on to the 28th of December. So no Boxing Day fixtures, I don't think, this year. It is Christmas Eve and then on to the 28th of December. And then just looking through a few of like the other leagues as well, and I guess you guys can sort of go through and look at when your teams are playing sort of in your own time, and I'm sure you're looking at some sort of key dates. But looking down the leagues, the Championship, Queen's Park and Partick Thistle, they're both in the same league this year, so that'll be a bit of a Glasgow derby there. Yep, that's sort of an alternate Glasgow derby right there. I'm trying to think of some other bigger teams that sort of in the Championship. Dundee will be wanting to come back. Arbroath, will they have another good season? Cove, of course, in that league for the first ever time in their history. Moving down to League One, Falkirk and Dunfermline. There's a big rivalry between them two. Dunfermline and Kelty. That'll be a Fife derby when those two play as well. And yeah, there's a few other sort of bigger teams in there. Of course, Edinburgh in that league for the first time in their history. Clyde, and yeah, there's some Clyde Airdrie, I guess, is a bit of a bigger game there as well. There's a bit of history between them two. So yeah, there's some interesting fixtures there. And then in League Two, I think Bonnyrigg Rose sort of like tantalises me the most. But any other derbies in there? Stirling Steny, it's not too far away from each other, I suppose. And then I guess Annan, sort of Stranraer's a bit of a battle of the south of Scotland there. But yeah, some really, really interesting fixtures there. A quick video here for you guys just to show you some key dates. Of course, remember to wait for that World Cup section. There will be no fixtures in the Scottish Premiership during the World Cup. However, for Championship, League One, League Two, and I guess everything below that as well, there will be a full fixture list throughout that period. I'm not confident that I'll be going to Qatar. I think it's a nightmare to get to. It'll be so expensive. There's barely any hotels left for fans anyway. So unless I get an invite from some national team to come and make some content for them, I don't know, Australia, if you want to invite me down to be part of your camp, then I would love to come. But unless that happens, I'll probably be in Scotland. All eyes will pretty much be on the World Cup, whereas mine are going to be on Cove Rangers against Partick Thistle on the 3rd of December, I imagine. So yeah, a huge thank you for watching this video. Do let me know who your team are playing on the first day, what derby days you're looking forward to, and who you might look forward to facing the most throughout the season. Please do subscribe if you're new. I cannot wait for the Scottish season to restart again. Of course, the Premier Sports Cup starts early to mid-July, so I'll be covering a few of those games as well. I'll be going to a few new countries as well, so do be sure to look out for a few of those. I will leave some videos on screen. Please do click on one to carry on watching. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next one.